17 birds and the bees, walking in the park, riding hearts in the trees. That young love, give me that young love.
Enjoy every moment, although that's cliche. Like, it does go really fast.
It comes out.
I feel like you already know you've been my
Nice to
meet you.
Our love was just a mystery. I'd lie awake and dream about you kissing me. I can't lie, feels good to be alive. When love could get you high. 17 birds and the bees, walking in the park, riding hearts in the trees. That young love, give me that young love. Back when we crossed our heart and hoped to die, making promises to the man in the sky. That young love, give me that young love. Left the party talking just as friends. Then you said I felt electric when you touched my hands. I got lost in your philosophy. Still feel the magic of when you were kissing me. I can't lie, feels good to be alive. Yeah. When love could get you high. 17. Give me that young love, give me that, oh, that young love.
Wow.
Ring?
The necklace.
Yeah.
Through the ring?
Yeah, well, I have my ring.
Oh, there we go. Nails.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah. Today.
That's happening.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna give a speech. I'm gonna dance. You practice?
I did a little, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna read off my phone though.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. How you doing?
Good.
That was your 6 hours of preparation,
It
right?
was intense.
It was
You
intense.
saw parts of it. You saw what it was like. I'm nervous.
Nervous? Finally.
Are you nervous?
I'm very nervous, but I'm rolling with it, you know?
Yeah, that's good. Me too.
Yeah. Wow, that train is intense. I didn't realize how long it was.
Yeah.
The sun falls upon me, kissing my face as I awake from sleep. Calm the storm.
Well, thank you everyone for coming here today on April 20th to see Frank and Meredith pledge their love to each other. A day that has no special meaning whatsoever other than their wedding. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Ryan Kaufman. I'm a psychiatrist. I'm also a registered non-denominational minister. You may be wondering why I was chosen to be standing here right now. Well, let me tell you, it's not for the great relationship case study in front of me. And it's not for the free Wayfair furniture either. I'm here today to marry two of my best friends, and before I go on, I need to bring up a potential elephant in the room. Frank was a groomsman at my wedding, and he helped lift me for the traditional Jewish chair dance. And in a moment of marital bliss, I clocked him in the face with my watch. So, because Frank is a gentleman, he let it go. But really, what was he gonna do anyway? Fight the groom? So, when Frank and Meredith asked me to officiate, I thought my time was up. I recalled the watch incident and said to myself, uh-oh, Frank is playing the long con. He will get me here, give me something important to do, and then when I at least expect it, assault me with a timepiece. Well, Frank, your watch is way more expensive than mine, so don't break it. And if you do it, I won't sign the marriage certificate. Well, so anyway, now that that's out of the way, I've known Frank since high school and Meredith since she met Frank. I have a lot of dirt on Frank, but less so on Meredith. I won't share all of it here, but you can find me later at the reception bar. Frank has always been intelligent, although sometimes common sense doesn't always follow along, like changing the high school library rules and getting work detention, or putting food in his pockets at debate tournaments, or showing up late and hungover to his first date. But then you hear about his impressive achievements: a National Merit Scholar, 2 perfect SATs, a full ride to Princeton, graduating from Darden. No matter what he's achieved, I can definitely say the most intelligent and most commonsensical decision he's made is asking Meredith to marry him. But to her own credit, Meredith is no slouch. She was raised by a lawyer and an astrophysicist. Throughout her childhood, she studied Taekwondo, and she will not be afraid to use it today. She graduated from Wellesley, so you know she doesn't need a man to support her. No, she is choosing to be with Frank, and maybe even support him, because their union will make each of them stronger. After all, Frank grew up in a home run by a strong woman, and he couldn't resist the opportunity to continue the trend. Meredith ran a legislator's office with an iron fist. The amount of calendar invites, preset alarms, and scheduled activities will be off the chain in their house. And Frank, don't be late unless you want a sternly worded email. But in all seriousness, I am honored to be chosen to preside over this ceremony. Marriage is more than just a ceremony and a big party. It is commitment, love, sacrifice, support, friendship, ups, downs, highs, lows, and everything in between. It's challenging, complex, fun, and everlasting, all at the same time. I hope Frank and Meredith find nothing but love, peace, and happiness in their journey together. And now it's time for vows. Anyone who knows Meredith knows she's quite competitive, so I'm sure hers will be better. But Frank, go ahead anyway.
Welcome, friends and family. Thank you for joining us on this special occasion. Thank you, Mom, Dad, and Gaston for traveling to share the occasion with us. So I figured while I have you all gathered here, I wanted to share the story of how Meredith and I met and fell in love. It's an unlikely love story filled with gaffes and bloopers on my part. But if nothing else, it'll prove to the singlest of singletons that yes, there is hope for you too. Our story begins in December 2015. When I heard the fateful notification sound on my phone that could only mean one thing, a new Tinder match. I looked at my phone and I saw Meredith, a recent Wellesley grad with a penchant for two brides, chess, and martial arts. We struck up a conversation. She regaled me with tales of her Uncle BJ's lake house and visiting in the summer, and somehow I convinced her I was normal enough for a first date. Don't ask me how I did that. I still don't know. But whatever the case was, with our family vacations coming up, we set a date, brunch on January 17, 2016, a date which will live in infamy. We agreed to do brunch just across the river from here in Alexandria, Virginia, which is Meredith's hometown. My preparation for the date was extensive, which is to say I Googled and Yelped a few places and looked at one that looked good and hoped that they had a table when we arrived at the restaurant. Of course, in my infinite wisdom, I also made other plans for the weekend, going out Saturday night to watch the Packers playoff game. Now, this was a great game. Lead changes back and forth. Aaron Rodgers threw a last-minute touchdown pass to send the game into OT. It was incredible. Before I knew it, one or two beers turned into, let's call it 12 or 13 beers. As the game ended with a Cardinals touchdown in OT, I stumbled over to the Metro. My next memory is waking up in the Metro at 3 o'clock in the morning, 20 miles from home, with no way to get back because I was on the last train. My only way home was an Uber XL at the massive rate of $62, which is about $300 in 2024 money. I was sternly greeted by my roommate and now best man, Anthony, who treated me like a parent who was not mad, just disappointed. The next morning, I awoke and went into damage control mode. I tried to shower off the shame and bad decisions, but neither would leave my body. Meredith texted me at 10 o'clock saying, "Hey, I am running a tad bit late this morning. Can we push back to 11:30? This was a much-needed lifeline. The extra time allowed me to make another questionable decision, taking the Metro. For any of those of you who've lived in DC, the Metro is notoriously unreliable, doubly so on weekends. Sure enough, 11:30 rolled around and I was still on my train on the way there. Meredith calls and says, "I'm at the restaurant. They don't have a table for Frank. Did you make a reservation?" No. Was I supposed to? Meredith sighed and said, "The next table's at 2 p.m. I'll book a place." After I hung up, two things were immediately obvious to me. One, she was pissed. But two, I knew I was in love with the sound of her voice. Some people find love at first sight. I found love at first angry phone call. I arrived at the new restaurant around noon. My eyes scanned around for Meredith, and I spotted her quickly. And without saying hello, introducing myself, or asking her name, I simply waved and sat at her table. Her eyes quickly scanned for the exits as the smell of alcohol and bad decisions wafted over her. But luckily, I was blocking every possible escape path. She decided to settle in for a revised date with no hope of an exit. We both ordered Eggs Benedict as I refused to acknowledge even the slightest misstep on my part. With any normal date out the window, we skipped over the boring questions that usually make up first dates. I asked her if she was for Bernie or Hillary, and she said Hillary, to my surprise at the time, but not surprising if you know the power of the Wellesley sisterhood. She asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and without missing a beat, I said, CEO of a Fortune 500 company, which I think got her attention. We chatted about our favorite books over eggs and Irish coffees, and the date went well enough she decided to come over and watch Netflix with absolutely no chill. To my own amazement, when I asked her for a second date, a couple days later, she said yes. We were on for pizza and Netflix during the great snowpocalypse of 2016. My groomsman Tom and I nearly died getting groceries, preparing for the date because the snow caught his car coming up a hill, and we nearly had a Jeep careen into us. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But our date eventually got canceled because of the snow, but rescheduled. And that date happened, and another one, and another one. By the time I visited my groomsman Errol in California that March, I told him, I think Meredith might be the one. Since that first date, Meredith and I have been on countless unforgettable adventures together, which you'll get to see at our tables tonight, photographs of. We navigated the challenges of business school applications, the tremendous highs and lows of recruiting. We survived business school at Darden together, with our livers mostly intact, making incredible friends along the way. We flew to Japan in style and ate an authentic kaiseki dinner and had sushi at Jiro's, which I'm still dreaming of. We jetted off to Havana and consumed our fair share of authentic and inauthentic Cuban rum and cigars. And we survived an epic 42-day road trip together with the two of us and Meredith's mom in the car. For the last 2 years, we've diligently made the commute back and forth between New York and Boston on weekends, getting to know just about every Amtrak employee in the process. Meredith, I love you, and I'm grateful for every single day I've gotten to spend with you. I'm convinced that in every universe and every lifetime, we meet, find each other, and fall in love. Thank you for agreeing to go on that first date, and more importantly, not giving up on me and so many dates we've had since. Thank you for sharing with me your spirit of adventure and your love of great food. Thank you for immediately saying yes when I went down on one knee last June, instead of making me wait like a chump. And thank you most of all for your patience, as I've evolved from the awkward and messy 24-year-old to the slightly less awkward and messy 32-year-old standing before you. I vow to love you for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, for as long as we both shall live. I vow to be an attentive and loyal husband and father. I vow to never let my coin and whiskey collections grow out of control. And most importantly, I vow to never be boring, for God watches us and kills us when we get boring. So, here's to a lifetime of building memories together and trying to take over the world.
Well, you've now all heard our first date story. So, as you can imagine, when I first laid eyes on you, Frank, I wanted to run away immediately. So, you really know how to leave quite the first impression. Luckily for you and for me, the rest of the date went much better. And I found out you were smart, funny, and an ambitious guy who read a lot of news and could talk about my favorite topic, politics. In the following months and years, those conversations never stopped, though we've expanded our range of conversation topics. I've always loved that I can talk to you about anything, serious, silly, and everything in between. I look forward to debating with you, joking with you, and discussing just about anything under the sun for the rest of our lives. Frank, you are also a great travel companion. What makes Frank a great travel companion, you may ask? First, you are low maintenance. When we first started going on trips, I wondered how it would go, because travel can introduce a lot of stress into a relationship. Things will inevitably go wrong when you travel. Planes get delayed, flights are missed, you can disagree about what to do or where to go. I learned a lot about you in those moments. You are always calm and very logical, and we just discuss what's the best solution and go with that. It's like having a conversation with Spock about your travel plans. Second, I also learned you can be oddly stubborn when you really want something. Like when we traveled to Cuba and you really wanted to go to a cigar factory. When we showed up for our tour, we learned Cuba's infrastructure is not great. The power had gone out and they were closing the factory down and all the workers were going home. They told us to come back tomorrow, which wasn't going to work because we were leaving today. So after reading some signs, you realized there was another cigar factory around the corner. So we walked there and you started arguing with the guard in Spanish to take our tour tickets from the other factory. After about 15 minutes, they agreed. And then they told you that you needed a tour group to get in. So you started chatting with other people on the street who were in the same situation as us and got a group together. Then they told you needed a tour guide. So you talked to the tour company that just pulled up and convinced that guy to take us on. Finally, they told you we couldn't bring our bags in, and they wouldn't hold them for us either. So you found this sketchy hole in the wall that would hold our bags for a fee. They could have told you to show up with the president. You would have popped up 15 minutes later with the guy in tow. You basically willed that tour into existence, and I was really amazed at your determination and unwillingness to give up. Finally, you're one of the most adaptable and adventurous people I've ever met. The first time we traveled abroad together was in Japan, and we ate Japanese food every day for every meal. I mean, you're in Japan. Why wouldn't you do that? You did struggle with this at first. There was one day where we basically had an American breakfast of bacon and eggs because you were tired of eating stuff you didn't recognize, which killed me a little bit on the inside. But then you really expanded your palate, eating random meat and noodle shops in a street in Vietnam, gopchang in South Korea, and Hainanese chicken rice in Singapore, to name a few. I think at this point, you're used to me just ordering food you don't recognize and just going with it. And you have this growth mentality in many different parts of your life, not just with food, which I really admire and try to learn from every day. And when we went back to Japan in 2019, you ate only Japanese food, which is great. So, from the worst first impression ever, through 8 crazy years of adventuring, business school, long distance, living in Boston and New York, it's been a wild ride. I can't wait to see where life takes us today and forever.
Francis, Meredith, please take each other's hands. Francis Musella, do you take Meredith Nakayama to be your lawfully wedded wife? Will you honor and cherish her, trust and commit to her through joy and pain, sickness and health, and whatever life may throw at you both until death do you part?
I do.
Meredith Nakayama, do you take Francis Musella to be your lawfully wedded husband? Will you honor and cherish him, trust and commit to him through joy and pain, sickness and health, and whatever life may throw at you both until death do you part?
I do.
The bride and groom will now exchange rings. The wedding ring is a symbol of binding, a symbol of attachment and of belonging, not of possession, but of partnership. Repeat after me, Frank. I give you this ring as a symbol of my love and commitment.
I give you this ring as a symbol of my love and commitment.
Repeat after me, Meredith. I give you this ring as a symbol of my love and commitment.
I give you this ring as a symbol of my love and commitment.
By the power vested in me from the District of Columbia, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss. Thank you for joining us in today's ceremony. There will be more to follow.
wanna be with you. I wanna hold you in your sleep. There's nothing we can't do with the love we've got. It's coming naturally. I wanna move with you. I wanna sweep you off your feet. And honey, when we're through, the birds and the bees will hum our melody. And I don't know what to do without your crazy love. Without your crazy love, no crazy love. And I don't know what to do without your crazy love. Without your crazy love. Without your crazy love, no crazy love. I'm living on the bright side, looking for that good life. Everything is alright, riding on that golden wave, swimming in the fresh blue, glossy feeling brand new. Sun is about to break through. Ooh, I love the world today. I'm living on the bright side. I'm living on the bright side. I'm living on the bright side. I'm living on the bright side.
It's that tank top weather, oh. All my friends get together, oh. Feel it couldn't be better, yes. Tell me this is forever, yeah. Summer days, they're getting hotter. Shit getting up out the water. Baby, it's beautiful, so that's the future is wavy. Colors are crazy. I'm living on the bright side, looking for that good life. Everything is alright, riding on that golden wave, swimming in the fresh blue, glossy feeling brand new. Sun is about to break through. Ooh, I love the world today. I'm living on the bright side. 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 The chemistry's right. I'm feeling so alive. Dreams flying in the sky. And I'm never coming back. I'm living on the bright side, looking for that good life. Everything is alright, riding on that golden wave, swimming in the fresh blue, glossy feeling brand new. Sun is about to break through. Ooh, I love the world today. I'm living on the bright side. 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 Dreams flying in the sky. And I'm never coming back. I'm living on the bright side, looking for that good life. Everything is alright, riding on that golden wave, swimming in the fresh mood, glossy feeling brand new. Sun is about to break through. Ooh, I love the world today. I'm living on the bright side. 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 I'm living on the bright side.
All right, friends, you better put your hands together and help me welcome in bridesman Ankur and Surya Groomsmen. Come on! Woo! We have bridesmaid Catherine and groomsman Ian. Come on. What y'all trying to do? Yeah, all right, let's make some noise for bridesmaid Demi and groomsman Tom. Come on. Yeah. All right, keep that round of applause going for bridesmaid Taylor and groomsman Logan. Yeah. All right, friends, we're not done yet. Give it up for bridesmaid Emma and groomsman Errol. All right, last but certainly not least, we have maid of honor Alexa and best man Anthony.
Girls, what y'all trying to do?
All right, friends, make some noise as we welcome in the bride and groom, Meredith Nakayama and Frank Musella.
Hello, everyone. Let's first congratulate the newlyweds. The ceremony was great. Welcome to all of you, and thank you for taking out the time to come and join us together to celebrate the union of Meredith and Frank in marriage. We are delighted that so many of you were able to attend and are looking forward to meeting as many of you as possible. It will make us very happy to see you enjoying yourselves today, so please eat some good food and take time to visit with people you haven't seen in years and get out on that dance floor. In short, have a great time. I'd like to give some brief introductions. Frank's mother is right there. Can you wave? Marianne Musella, and her husband, Bill Heller. Frank's uncle is Gaston Musella. And his father is Joe Whittick, and his wife, Camille Whittick. Meredith's father is Grant Nakayama. And my husband. And my name is Lorene Harada. I'm the mother of the bride. Now, you all heard during the ceremony that Frank and Meredith have been dating each other for about 8 years now. And he really has become a part of the family during that time. Some of the highlights included, and he mentioned this, driving across the country together, and I was with them during the entire time. Spending every Thanksgiving at our home with friends and family, and Frank became just a little bit better at cooking during that time. The past 8 years, really little, but... And then we spent many months together at our vacation house during the pandemic. Which I'm sure you all still remember. It's a little surreal now, but we did have to lock down for a little while. Today, I'd like to welcome Frank to the family officially. So next, I'd like to share a little story about Meredith and Frank. They both went to, and you've heard this before too, University of Virginia Business School, also known as Darden. So you can hear there are many Dardenites here tonight. During the pandemic, they had a number of their friends over to our vacation house. Darden was in isolation together, and they were tested just about every day for COVID to make sure they didn't have it. So they spent a few days at our house, still in isolation. And after they left, I went back there and found 6 large boxes, and they were stuffed full of empty liquor bottles. First, I thought, wow, that's a lot of liquor bottles. And my second thought was, how irresponsible of Meredith and Frank to leave all those liquor bottles for me to clean up. So I was pretty irritated. Then Meredith called and she told me she was afraid that I would be mad that they left all those liquor bottles. But she said, "But Mom, we took half of them with us. We just didn't have room in the car for the rest of them." Now you tell me, was that better or was that worse? Anyway, Darden apparently has a class in drinking 101, or more like 911. So all of you Dardenites, you probably already figured out that we have an open bar. So feel free to indulge. We have quite a number of doctors in the house just in case. But no driving afterward, okay? And I'm not kidding about that either. Call an Uber. Lastly, from our Japanese roots, many of us Japanese Americans always start our meal saying itadakimasu, which basically means, I humbly thank you for this food and all that prepared it. Notice I didn't say who prepared it because this word encapsulates everything and everyone that contributed to the meal in this thanks. It includes thanks for the clean water in your glass and for the bees that pollinate the flowers of the vegetables on your plate, and the farmer who grew them, and the life of the fish and the fisherman who caught it, and the chefs who skillfully prepared the meal, and the awesome wait staff here tonight. So I want you all to please join me at saying itadakimasu. I'm going to pronounce that a little bit more slowly. That is itadakimasu. At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Itadakimasu. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everybody. We're about to play the most interesting game in the world. The shoe game. Anybody know what the shoe game is? Raise your hand if you played the shoe game before. Now keep your hand up if you played it at your own wedding before. Oh, first time? First time for everything. Well, here's how the shoe game works. I'm gonna ask a question, and both Meredith and Frank are going to raise the shoe of the person they believe is the right answer to this question. So for example, whose name starts with M? Practice. Oh, we're cutting Meredith off. We're cutting Meredith off here. Ambiguous. Ambiguity, where are my lawyers here? Ambiguity, first or last name, first or last name. So that basically, here's the thing. They need to agree on the answers. If they don't agree on more than 50% of the answers, the marriage is immediately dissolved. I think at least. This is the District of Columbia law, all right? So I also want you guys to give advice. So if you believe one of these people is the better answer to the question, I want you to shout their name, okay? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You guys know these people pretty well. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. So we're gonna get started. And we're gonna start with some easy questions, hopefully, because we really do want this marriage certificate to be valid, okay? So let's get started. Okay, you two. Who is the better cook? I think that's a good one. Who likes to shop more? Who is funnier? Oh, I don't know if that's right. Who is better at keeping secrets? Oh, we have our first disagreement. We're going to the appellate panel at the table here. No, I'm just kidding. Who is more spontaneous? Meredith, you set the bar high on that one with your speech. But who is more forgetful? Oh, disagreement. All right, this is all on record, by the way, for the appellate court, so be careful here. All right, we're gonna get a little bit more difficult here, but you guys can handle this. We got a Prince Anna Wellesley person here. Who is more likely to survive on a desert island? I'd give Frank about a day and a half. Who sings karaoke better? Who is always running late? You guys should all answer that one if you're paying attention at the ceremony. Be careful with this one, Frank. Who is the better driver? All right, these are gonna be some tough ones. Who is more stubborn? Frank. All right, you guys ready for this one? Mom and Dad, you guys ready for this one? Who is the bigger overachiever? All right, now we're gonna get a little more intimate. You guys know each other for more than 8 years. Who snores louder? You know, I lived with these two. I'm not totally sure. I'm just kidding. Who is always hogging the bathroom? Who is more likely to ask, can I please speak to your manager? Oh! All right, now let's get a little cuter. When you were dating, who said, I love you first? Aww. And then after there was Netflix and absolutely no chill, who made the first move? And before you two came into each other's lives, who had been on more first dates? Who has broken more hearts? And who is more romantic? Oh! All right, let's wrap this up with who can hold their liquor better? So I think we know the answer to this next one. Who's gonna fall asleep first tonight? And finally, this is a tough one, so think carefully. Who do you love more than anyone else in the world? Aww. Let's give it up for Frank and Meredith. Woo! Well, good evening, everybody. And for those of you who live in DC, no warm welcome. But to all of those of you visiting, welcome to Washington, DC. We're at the Wharf, one of the most beautiful neighborhoods in the entire city. And we have to give a round of applause to the Nakayama family and the Musella family for such a beautiful ceremony and reception tonight. And let me officially welcome you to tonight's celebration. It's an important milestone. It's an anniversary. 8 years and 2 months ago today, the beautiful Meredith Nakayama officially became the third wheel to me and Frank Musella. You know, I've known Frank for 12 years. I first met him in college. I was a freshman. We were at a debate event. I met him, you know, it was Frank. He was kind of quiet, seemed like a good guy, unassuming, a little odd. Didn't really get to know him, though, until 2 years later when we were in the same eating club, Colonial. And at Colonial, we got to bond over many things. First off, we loved economics. We loved politics and big ideas. We bonded over our shared Italian heritage. And we bonded over the fact that our mothers instilled in us a love of some of the greatest American literary works of all time, like Wheel of Fortune and The Bachelor. And Jeopardy. And Jeopardy. And so, as Frank and I got to know each other, we basically became inseparable at Princeton. And then as fate would have it, we both got our first jobs in DC. And Frank actually suggested, well, maybe we should live together. And I have to admit, I wasn't totally sold when he asked me at first. You know, cool guy, we get along all the time, but might be, you know, kind of a weird roommate, not sure. But I was officially sold within a few weeks of moving to DC. See, we were looking at apartments. I had moved here first. I was in Georgetown. And Frank always kept it classy. So one of our very first nights out on the town, Frank shows up with 4 Locos. We have a wonderful night for the first 2 hours. And as you know, Frank, he can be a little stubborn, especially after a few drinks. So while we were out at the bar, I kindly suggested to Frank, maybe we should slow down a bit. We'll be here for a little more and then we'll go. What does Frank do? He goes to the bar and gets another drink. Okay, Frank, let's calm down and not do this, and then we're gonna head home and have a good rest of the night. What does he do? He leaves. I have no idea where he goes. Doesn't answer his texts, doesn't answer his phone, picks up, incoherent. Get in a taxi, looking for him. Where the hell is this guy? Can't find him anywhere. 7 a.m., I'm in my Georgetown group house, sleeping. Frank bursts through my bedroom door. I said, where the hell were you? He had fallen asleep in a bed of rocks outside FBI headquarters in downtown DC. And that was the moment I knew Frank is gonna be an awesome roommate. So Frank and I moved in together in Clarendon, where we had a lot of great times. Frank, I learned, is not afraid to speak his mind. We would do all sorts of things together. We would grocery shop. We would go out on the town. We go to social events. We go to work events. And when you're a guy in your 20s, you sometimes discuss dating and things like that. And so I had my fair share of going to Frank and talking about my problems in life. And, Frank had some good advice for me in dating. He looked at me and he said, Anthony, you are too fat to be a skinny guy, but you're too skinny to be a fat guy. You gotta pick a side. And the interesting thing about that, Frank always has that key, insightful analysis, that practical advice, and he's always so caring. But the one thing I do know about Frank is that he is a true and loyal friend. And you can see it based on everybody who is here today, because Frank knew all of my friends where I worked, and I got to know so many of his friends at Capital One, so many of them who are here tonight at this wedding. We had great times at DC, and we'll have many more to go. But given the fact that Frank and I basically did everything together, it was a little sad, because there's no doubt that for me, life got a little bit lonelier in January 2016. Something happened then. That's because Frank met this woman from Wellesley, and she was a little different. Something was different about her. I could tell something was going well, because Frank actually wanted to spend time with her and not me. Frank was happy after he left their dates. Frank was sad when she left their apartment. It was a true love, I could tell. And when I knew for sure that this day would happen, it's because in June 2016, that woman right there helped us move out of our apartment. Now, you know how bad moving is, okay? But you haven't moved out of an apartment that was habited by me and Frank, okay? Where's my family's at? After getting our Goodwill purchase furniture out of the house finally, I will never forget seeing Meredith stuff these disgusting, never washed, giant Homer Simpson slippers into a box as we were getting out of the apartment. And that's when I knew this is true love. Well, it was a whirlwind romance. Just a short 7 years later, Frank proposed. But was it any surprise? Look at them. Meredith is such a beautiful, bright, ambitious young lady. And I'm not gonna lie, as you all know, Frank is not the kind of guy who always wears his emotions on his sleeve. It's kind of hard to get emotion out of him sometimes. But the emotion I have seen over the last 8 years and 2 months has been some of the best times of his life, the best times of my life, and without a doubt, the happiest I've ever seen him. I am so honored to be part of your day today. I've been so honored to be part of your relationship for the past 8 years and 2 months. And I'm honored that I will be, hopefully, very soon, one day, Uncle Tony, who will be part of your life forever going forward. So I would love to raise our glass and give a toast to this wonderful couple, Frank Musella and Meredith Nakayama. May you have a joyful and blessed marriage for the rest of your lives.
All right, well, Anthony, you kind of made that hard to follow up, but I'll do my best up here. Meredith. Where to start? We've only known each other for a short 29 years, but in that time, I like to think that I've known you just a little bit. We met through our nannies, and even though we went to different elementary schools, we reconnected through a kids' cooking class. I remember us trying to go through every curricular activity that we had ever done, trying to remember how we knew each other. And from then on, we were thick as thieves, and it was as if we had never parted. We began having conversations to each other without speaking or acting more and more like sisters, mostly because we told people we were. But from my friendship with you, I have seen firsthand a few of your amazing qualities. One, your strength, not just due to your black belts, but through your determination. Two, you are one of the most loyal people I know. You will always have your friends back, even when we might be in the wrong. And three, your heart. You care so much for your friends and family and are always there for us when we need you. Frank, I know you have seen these same qualities in Meredith because we wouldn't be here today if you hadn't. But with that, I'd like to ask that you continue to show her your strength and be her rock when she cannot be one for herself. Be as loyal to her as we know she is to you, and protect her heart. She told me once that one of the things she liked about you is that you're not afraid to debate with her. And we all know she can be a little stubborn as well. But honestly, through the time that I have seen you two together and been around you, I have seen a different, better version of Meredith. And enjoy this time together and the next adventure in your lives. Through this marriage, I know you are joining your families, but on behalf of our sister girl group, we'd like to welcome you to ours. I love you both, and congratulations again.
Well, hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Ian Nakayama, Meredith's younger brother. Like most younger brothers, I was what some folks might call the chief instigator throughout our childhood. I'd bother Meredith at almost every opportunity, which might not have been the best idea because at the time, I'm pretty sure Meredith was about a foot taller and 50 pounds heavier than me. My only saving grace was that I could sprint to my parents faster than she could catch me. Meredith is 4 years older than me and about 4 times more mature. She's always been someone I've looked up to and gotten advice from, and I'm so happy to be here tonight to celebrate Meredith and Frank's marriage. Now, Meredith and Frank are compatible in so many ways. They both like partying and drinking with friends, as you heard earlier tonight. They both like to ski. They both enjoy being violently thrown from inner tubes on a lake in Michigan. Most importantly, Frank and Meredith are both funny, driven, and intelligent people. And sure, Frank went to Princeton, and he went to Darden. But I think the real signifier of his intelligence was the choice to marry my sister tonight. And what can you say about Frank that hasn't already been said? Some people might accuse him of having FOMO, or fear of missing out. But this man has conquered any possible fear of missing out by simply doing everything he possibly can all the time. Frank's always down. Hey, Frank, want to hike the tallest peak in Texas? Sure. Want to try some of the spiciest hot sauces known to man? No problem. Want to have 2 shots and a cocktail when you're already 12 deep? Let's rock. Want to run a half marathon on about 2 weeks worth of training? Hell yeah. Hey, Frank, you sure you still want to surf with 20 sea urchin spines embedded in your foot? It's no problem, brother. Now, Frank, you're welcomed into the Nakayama Harada family tonight. And, we're a little weird. We can be a little odd sometimes. I mean, I'm sure you're used to it over the years that you've spent with us. But, we got something my dad likes to call the loving bosom of our family. And that's what you've been welcomed into tonight. And that means that we just have no filter when we criticize each other and show up in person. It's our act of love. During my sister's graduation, we fly up to Wellesley. It's a big occasion. My mom, my dad, I'm there. I'm like, wow, this is an awesome moment. And we go to my sister's dorm, and she's looking beautiful, and she's ready to graduate, and what an achievement, right? She's graduating from Wellesley. And my mom, the other Wellesley graduate, the first thing she says to my sister, wow, you look like you gained a lot of weight. The first thing. So we don't hold back. We tell you how it lies. So that's what you're welcome into, Frank, tonight, It's a blessing and a curse sometimes. We'll let you know if your body odor's kicking up when you're around other folks, We'll let you know if you put on a few pounds of weight, so you'll never have to worry that we're putting on faces for you, We're putting on amends. Now, at this point, some brothers might tell Frank to make sure you treat my sister right. But I don't really believe in that patriarchal line of thinking. I mean, I was raised by Wellesley women, right? And also, because Meredith is the one with a 3rd-degree black belt in Taekwondo. So here's some advice from someone who's seen her elbow a cinder block in half. Just ensure you don't make her mad. And like I said earlier, if you do, make sure you can run faster than she can. So the last part of my speech requires a little bit of audience participation. There's this tradition at Japanese American weddings in Hawaii called the bonsai toast. The word bonsai in Japanese translates to 10,000 years of life, literally. So the bonsai toast is wishing the bride and groom and the guests of the wedding 10,000 years of long life. This toast is a two-parter. Traditionally, a friend gives a toast on behalf of the family, or behalf of the guests to the family. And then a family member gives the second toast on behalf of the family to the guests. We're gonna switch up the order a bit, since Surya might not be the most familiar with explaining very specific Japanese American wedding traditions. So, I'll say a couple words in Japanese, then the word banzai. Every time I yell banzai, you all yell banzai in quick succession. All right, y'all ready to yell banzai? Great. Raihin Shokun banzai! 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 Cheers to Meredith and Frank.
Sorry, I just had to check how much of a degenerate I could make you all be with Ian. Hi, my name is Surya. I'm a friend of Meredith and Frank's from Darden. The D in Darden stands for being a degenerate. That's what we all are. And so I'm one of the degenerates here to celebrate Frank and Meredith. So it's the same spiel. I'm gonna say banzai, but I'm gonna say a couple of words before that in Japanese. And when I do butcher the language, y'all are gonna be very kind to me about it. All right, it's Shinro Shimpu Banzai! 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 Thank you.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with surely to the sea. My darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. So take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love
Oh, beautiful.
Something tells me there's a good time coming. Just wait and see. You got to put a little faith in something. Might as well be with me. You feel it when the bass starts grooving. Go ahead and move your feet. Around here we ain't afraid of nothing. Dancing like no one sees. I feel free, so free. I feel free, so free. The floor's open, come and take my hand. I'm a bad rammer jammer, yes you know I am. And the band's hitting harder than a battering ram, getting everybody out there to see.
shake it and move. Shake it and move. Shake it and move. Get it and move. Get it and move. Get it and move. I got it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got it. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got it. I got it. I got that thing. Ooh, you got me feeling good. Yeah. Shake it and move. Shake it and move. Shake it and